Hey everyone, before we dive into this story, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. My name is Lauren Estelle, and I'm 38 years old. I never imagined a single text could reshape how I viewed my marriage. It came through last Monday while I was buried in work, racing to meet a project deadline. My phone vibrated, and I glanced at it, expecting a quick note or maybe a lighthearted, "What's for dinner?" from my husband, Carter. Instead, I read, "Your snoring's intolerable. Sleep on the couch from now on." No warmth, no softness, just a blunt order, as if I were a disobedient kid. I chuckled at first, stunned by the absurdity. Then the hurt sank in. 7 years married, 9 years together, and this was his approach. I've always snored. He knew that when we were dating, when we moved in, when we said our vows. He used to tease me about it, mimicking the sound to make our friends laugh, and I'd join in. Now, abruptly, it was intolerable. But it wasn't the complaint that stung most. It was the cold, distant tone, as if I didn't deserve a real conversation. I replied with 2 words, "No issue." No argument, no defense. He sent back a thumbs-up emoji. 7 years of marriage boiled down to a cartoon gesture. That evening, I played along. I grabbed my pillow, draped a throw blanket over the couch, that sleek, modern piece Carter insisted on when we redecorated, stylish but hard as stone beneath its fabric. Around 11 p.m., Carter passed by in his silk pajamas. No good night, no glance, just the click of the bedroom door shutting like a final judgment. I lasted an hour on that couch, my back already throbbing. Lying there, staring at the ceiling, I felt like a stranger in my own home. Then it hit me I had another choice. Carter didn't know, and never had, that I still owned the small apartment my grandmother left me. A modest 1-bedroom, 20 minutes away. When we married, he assumed I'd sold it. I never corrected him, telling myself it was a harmless secret. Everyone needs a space of their own, don't they? When life with Carter felt heavy, I'd slip away there for a few hours to catch my breath, to reconnect with who I was before him. At midnight, I got up. No excuses, no pretense. I took my pillow, a change of clothes, and left. The drive felt like a release. My fingers tapped the steering wheel, the quiet city stretching out around me. And for the first time in years, I owed nothing to anyone. Unlocking the apartment door, the stillness welcomed me like a familiar embrace. I hadn't spent a night there in ages. The air held a faint dusty scent, the kind that lingers in a place waiting for its owner. But my bed was there, waiting too. I sank into it, the sheets cool against my skin, and closed my eyes. No couch jabbing my spine, no Carter's size beside me, just me alone, free. When I woke, sunlight filtered through the curtains. My body felt rested, unweighed. I checked the time, 6 a.m. I hurried home to keep up the charade, tossing the pillow back on the couch, musing the blanket, denting the cushion to mimic a night's sleep. When Carter came downstairs at 7, he poured his coffee, glanced my way, and said, "Not so tough, right?" I forced a smile. "Nope, easy." Inside, I thought, if you only knew where I really was. That marked the start of my secret routine. I'd pretend to endure the couch while slipping away each night to the one place Carter couldn't touch. What surprised me wasn't the deception. It was realizing I didn't miss sleeping beside him at all. For 2 weeks, I kept it up. Every night, I waited until Carter went to bed around 10. An hour later, I'd leave, drive 20 minutes, sleep soundly in my grandmother's bed, wake before dawn, return home, and stage the couch scene. It became almost effortless, too effortless. But Carter wasn't satisfied with ease. By the second week, I noticed a shift in him, small comments, the way he eyed me in the mornings, his gaze lingering on the couch, as if checking for proof of my presence. Then came the closet incident. One Saturday, I went upstairs for a sweater, only to find my dresser cleared out. My clothes were neatly folded, stacked in plastic bins, and pushed into the hallway. Carter's shirts now claimed the entire closet. When I asked what happened, he didn't look up from his phone. "It's more practical this way," he said coolly, "since you're not using the bedroom." I stood there, stunned. "Carter, those are my things." "They're still here," he replied, tapping his screen. "Just moved. More logical." Logical. His go-to word for masking cruelty. I didn't argue. I carried a bin to the guest room. He watched, almost expecting me to snap. But I didn't, and I saw disappointment flicker across his face. That's when I realized Carter craved the fight. He wanted me to protest, to beg for my place back in the bedroom. He wanted a performance of loyalty, a display of pain. My silence stole that from him. His tests escalated. One night, as I was about to leave at 11, Carter appeared at the top of the stairs, arms crossed. Where are you headed? My heart raced, but I kept my voice steady. Couldn't seat sleep. Thought I'd take a drive. This late, he pressed, eyes narrowing. Driving helps me relax, I said with a shrug. You said my snoring's unbearable. Just trying to make things easier. He studied me for a long moment, then gave a tight, forced smile. Strange choice, he muttered, heading back upstairs. That night, I still went to the apartment, but I returned earlier, perfecting the couch's disarray. The more suspicious Carter grew, the less I cared about hiding. Each night at the apartment, I felt alive again. One evening, my old college friend Nora stopped by unannounced, carrying a bottle of wine and her usual warm smile. Her expression faltered when she saw the bins of clothes in the hallway. What's going on? She asked. Before I could respond, Carter chimed in smoothly. Lauren's snoring's too loud. She's been sleeping downstairs, so I moved her things to free up space. Nora blinked. Hold on. You kicked her out of the bedroom. It's not like that, Carter said quickly. She agreed. It's better for us. Nora looked at me, searching my face. I forced a smile. It's fine, really. But her furrowed brow told me she wasn't buying it. Her subtle head tilt signaling we'll talk soon. After she left, Carter cornered me in the kitchen. You didn't tell her anything, did you? I set my glass down carefully, meeting his intense stare. What would I say, Carter? That you prefer the bed to yourself? That you've taken over the closet? That's your normal, not mine. His jaw clenched, but he said nothing, just walked away. In that silence, I sensed his control slipping. My compliance rattled him more than any argument would have. But I knew this wasn't over. Carter always pushed further. The question was, how far? Lying in my grandmother's bed that night, I stared at the ceiling and whispered, Don't underestimate him, Lauren. He wants you caged. For the first time, I didn't just fear him finding out about the apartment. I wondered what he'd do when he did. By week 3, Carter upped the ante. His sister, Rebecca, came to visit. She was meant to stay in the guest room, but Carter had other plans. Over dinner, he said, Since you're barely on the couch anyway, Rebecca can take it. You don't mind, right? I laughed aloud. So, you're evicting me from the couch now. Rebecca froze, fork midair. Carter, I'm not taking her spot. It's just a few nights, he snapped. Don't make a scene. Rebecca looked at me, apologetic. I gave her a thin smile. Enjoy your visit. That night, I skipped the pretense and drove straight to the apartment, spending 3 peaceful nights there, returning only after work. Carter was furious, but couldn't admit to Rebecca that he'd pushed me out of both the bedroom and the couch. Rebecca wasn't oblivious, though. Before leaving, she pulled me aside in the kitchen, her voice low. What's really happening with you two? I hesitated, then offered a partial truth. Your brother says my snoring's unbearable, so he doesn't want me in the bedroom. She frowned. That's not normal, Lauren. Couples figure these things out together, not banish each other. I shrugged, keeping it light. We'll sort it out. But her expression said she wasn't convinced. 2 days later, Carter's mother, Gloria, called. Lauren, honey, Rebecca said you're sleeping in your car. I nearly dropped the phone. My car? I echoed, anger rising. Carter told her I drive around all night and don't come home. Is that true? I pressed a hand to my forehead. No, Gloria, it's not. I'm fine. Carter just can't handle my snoring. There was a pause. Sweetheart, she said softly, I've been married 40 years. My husband snores like a freight train. I use earplugs. That's what marriage is, compromise. Her words hit hard, not because I disagreed, but because she was right. Carter wasn't compromising. He was punishing me. The next escalation came Thursday morning. I returned from the apartment at 6 a.m. and noticed something odd on the bedroom dresser. A camera, its lens aimed at the bed. Carter appeared in the doorway, coffee in hand. "It's to record your snoring," he said casually. "For the doctor." I stared at the device. "What doctor?" "The one you'll see about your snoring issue," he replied smoothly. I let out a sharp laugh. "I don't have an issue." "You do." He sipped his coffee. "Same thing. It wasn't about my health. It was surveillance, control, evidence." That night, I stayed on the couch for the first time in weeks. My back ached, but when Carter checked on me at 2 a.m., I smiled calmly. "See, right where you want me." He looked almost startled, then retreated upstairs. Lying there, I decided I was done hiding, done playing his game. The next move would be mine. The morning after I spotted the camera, something in me changed. I was exhausted from sneaking around, from pretending he had the upper hand. So I stopped. That Saturday, I spent the whole night at the apartment, no fake couch setup. I strolled home at 8 a.m. with a bag of groceries, acting like I'd just run an errand. Carter was in the kitchen, his jaw tight. "The couch looks untouched," he said. "That's because I didn't sleep there," I replied evenly. His eyes widened. "Where were you?" "Not here." He slammed his mug down. "You can't just vanish all night." I raised an eyebrow. "You told your sister I sleep in my car, remember?" He flinched. "I didn't mean, what did you mean, Carter?" "You kicked me out of our bedroom via text, told your family I'm unstable, and now you're mad I found somewhere else to sleep?" He had no response, just stormed off, fists clenched. That evening, Gloria called again. "Lauren, sweetheart, Carter says you're having an affair." I laughed bitterly. "Of course he did." "Are you?" she asked gently. "No, Gloria. I'm just somewhere I can breathe." She sighed. "This is spiraling. Please, talk to him before it falls apart." But Carter didn't want to talk. He wanted control. On Monday, I came home from work to find my key didn't work. My stomach sank. Carter opened the door, smirking. "New locks. For safety." He handed me a key, but it only worked on the bottom lock, not the deadbolt. "This doesn't open the top one," I said. "That's only locked when I'm home," he replied smoothly. "For safety. So when you're here, I can't get in?" He shrugged. "You're never here at night anyway." I stared, heart pounding. "Carter, this is our house." "Mine too." He smirked. "Then stay." I didn't. I drove to the apartment, unlocked my door, and curled up in my grandmother's bed, torn between rage and relief. Over the next few days, Carter's rumors spread. He told his father I was distant, his sister Natalie I was living a double life, and friends I was unraveling. Then he made his boldest move. On Friday, he confronted me with a folder. "Got you," he snarled. "I know where you've been." My blood ran cold, but the folder contained gym check-ins, diner receipts, and late-night drive logs. Nothing about the apartment. "You're at the gym until 2 a.m., he barked. I nearly laughed. "Apparently. Thanks to you." The PI's report, meant to trap me, became my alibi. My lie held strong. Carter's frustration was palpable. He was losing his grip. That night, standing in the apartment's kitchen, gazing at the city lights, my pulse steadied. He wanted me cornered, watched, controlled. Instead, he'd push me toward freedom. For the first time, I questioned why I still called it our marriage. A Sunday morning call from Gloria came next. "Lauren, honey, Carter wants everyone over for dinner. He says it's important." Her voice was tense. I knew this wasn't dinner. It was his stage, and I was the villain. By 6 p.m., the house was packed. Carter's parents, Natalie, his brother Paul, even a cousin. My side was uninvited, but my brother Michael showed up, arms crossed, defiant. Carter stood like a judge. "We're here to address Lauren's behavior." I nearly laughed. Behavior? Like I was a rebellious teen, not his wife. He dimmed the lights, revealing a laptop connected to the TV, displaying a PowerPoint. Slide 1, a photo of the pristine couch. Slide 2, screenshots of text claiming I refused to share the bed. Slide 3, the PI's report highlighting gym check-ins. Slide 4, notes from his concerned family talks. "This," Carter declared, clicking forward, "is proof of Lauren's abandonment." The room went quiet. Michael snorted. "A PowerPoint?" Seriously. But Carter pressed on, voice sharp. She leaves every night, no explanation, refusing to fight for our marriage. She's checked out. I stood, hands shaking with fury, not fear. Really, Carter? This is your case? That I didn't sleep on the couch you banished me to? That I didn't beg for my place back? His face darkened. You're twisting this. No, I pulled out my phone, showing the text that started it all. His cold order to sleep on the couch. Here's the truth. Your son, your brother, your cousin kicked me out of our bedroom via text. And when I didn't break, when I didn't perform the pain he wanted, he escalated. Cameras, new locks, lies. I turned to his parents. He told you I sleep in my car, that I'm having an affair. And you believed him. Rebecca spoke up. She's right, Carter. You made me take the couch while leaving Lauren to fend for herself. That's not okay. Carter's face flushed. Stay out of this, Rebecca. But the room shifted. I dropped the final truth. I wasn't in my car. I wasn't with anyone. I was at my own apartment, the one my grandmother left me, the one Carter never knew about because he never asked. The room exploded, shock, accusations, voices overlapping. Carter's face cycled through pale, red, and furious purple. You've had an apartment this whole time? Yes, I said calmly. It's why I've had peace for the first time in years. You lied. No, I just never corrected your assumptions. There's a difference. Natalie jumped in. See, she's manipulative, hiding secrets. Michael cut her off. No, Natalie. It proves your brother's controlling. He kicked her out and got mad when she didn't suffer like he wanted. Carter's father looked uneasy, his mother disappointed. Rebecca muttered, unbelievable. Carter turned to me, shaking. You've deceived me for years. I pulled an envelope from my bag. Steady now. What's this? He demanded. I handed it to him. Separation papers, filled out. Just need your signature. The room froze. You've already filed, his voice cracked. No, I said. But after the locks, the lies, treating me like a problem instead of a partner, I prepared them. He stared at the papers, stunned. You were planning to leave me. I met his eyes. I was planning to survive you. Gloria broke the silence, her voice breaking. Curtis, enough. Apologize and get counseling, or you'll lose her. Right now. Carter's jaw worked, but he said nothing. He slammed the envelope shut and stormed out, leaving us in stunned silence. For once, I didn't feel like the villain. I felt free. 3 weeks have passed since that family showdown, since Carter's PowerPoint and my separation papers. He hasn't signed them yet. At first, there was just silence, no texts, no calls, just emptiness. I was ready for it to end quietly without closure. But one evening, my phone rang. Carter's name flashed. Against my instincts, I answered. Lauren, he said, softer than I'd heard in years. Can we talk? Really talk? We met at a quiet downtown cafe. Public enough for civility, private enough for honesty. Carter looked drained, not angry. His eyes avoided mine until he sighed. I started therapy last week. After the meltdown, my therapist said something I didn't want to hear, that I've been testing you, setting traps to see if you'd fight for me. I leaned back, his words sinking in. That's exactly what you did. He nodded, shame in his eyes. I thought your fighting meant you cared. Your acceptance felt like you didn't. Carter, that's not love. It's a game. I know, he whispered. I'm sorry. Silence hung between us, filled by the clink of coffee cups. Then I said what I'd held back. At the apartment, I felt free. For the first time in years, I wasn't on edge, wasn't judged. I could breathe. His shoulders slumped like I'd struck him. So what now? I took a deep breath. Counseling. Real counseling. No traps, no detective games. If we try, it has to be different. He nodded slowly. I'll do it. I wasn't done. And the apartment stays. It's my space, my inheritance, my safety net. You don't have to like it, but you'll respect it. His jaw tightened, but he agreed. We started counseling 2 weeks ago. It's tough. The therapist says we're like roommates, not partners. She's right. Years of unspoken grudges, and his endless tests have worn us down. Some nights we talk. Others, we sit in heavy silence. We're back in the same bedroom. He got me a white noise machine. I got tested for sleep apnea. Negative, just regular snoring. Some nights are okay, others aren't. He says he'll cope, but I don't know if we'll make it. His family split. Natalie calls me deceitful for the apartment. Rebecca's on my side. Gloria urges Carter to fix things before he loses me. Michael just says, you deserve better. Maybe he's right. The separation papers sit in my desk, and signed but ready. Not because I want to use them, but because I know I can. Last night, Carter asked, do you still love me? I paused. I don't know, I said, but I'm willing to find out. It's not a fairy tale ending. No grand reconciliation or dramatic revenge. Just two imperfect people deciding if there's anything worth saving. Here's what I've learned. Don't play games with those you love. Say what you mean what you say. Never let anyone make you feel like a burden for existing. And always have a space that's yours alone. Our marriage might survive, or it might not. But tonight I'll sleep in my own bed. Not on a couch, not in a car, not under anyone's control. And if Carter ever texts me again to leave my own space, I know exactly where I'll go. Freedom, once tasted, is unforgettable.